All right, Jason Rona back here at the 2016 IFMAR World Championships. We just finished up an actual controlled seating round here, which means something here for the first time this weekend at the World Championships. It's a little loud right now. We got a little bit of White Snake playing in the background here from the 80s. Basically, what's kind of going on here so far today is track was a lot cooler this morning. It was really windy when we got here, and it was cool. But now the heat's kind of picked up here again, and we're in a little bit warmer condition. But essentially what happened here this morning is the guys that were up early, I think, had a little bit of an advantage. And you can kind of see that in the standings a little bit after the first round. I believe everybody, with the exception of maybe Jared Tebow and actually Elliott Boots, were kind of from the earlier runs. There was some guys I noted that were running well there at the end, which was Rona Falk, Elliott Boots, and then we had Mike Truey was in race 17, who that was his first run for a couple days, but he ran pretty well. But basically what happens here is the track is really wet when we start the day. So the first few races have a really wet track, and it dries slow. It takes a long time for the track to dry. And what ends up happening is that we move along, as it gets about the middle of the heats, the track starts drying faster, and it makes it really loose early in your run. So what we're getting here is a little bit of inconsistency, and then by the end, the track's just drying faster. Like right now behind us, they haven't started watering it for the second round, but you can see how that it's drying fast. This is when you want to run right now at the RC tracks of Las Vegas, when the sun's out, it's bright, and the track's drying fast, because you know you're going to be able to run in the dry track towards the end, which is when the faster times will come, and the consistency actually kind of picks up for most. So I think what we're going to see this round is the guys that were fast in round one are actually going to come right back, and they're going to be fast again, because now once again they're back on the good track again. It's going to dry fast. It's going to be towards the end of their run, it's going to be starting to groove up quicker. And what we're going to have to be concerned about looking at is the guys that run at the end again are now not going to get that advantage of that super hot track. Now, that's a big factor, is the temperature, because it controls the compound that you're going to use and then how quick the track is. The one guy seems to be that's a little bit immune to the situations is Elliott Boots. He's been running well kind of regardless so far. A little more other guys are more affected by the inconsistency, but I think what you got is when you look at the standings, you see guys, no matter where they're running, you see guys like we talked about, Boots, you see Tebow, you see Mayfield, you see Tessman, Rona Falk. You see these guys can still be in the top 12 or 15 regardless of kind of when they're on the track. I'd have to say right now that Tessman's been a little bit at a disadvantage so far with where he's seated, or where he's placed. Because I want to say that he's in one of the heats that are right in the middle. So I would say that he's not showing up as far up on the standings as you would think that he would be. But by the time we run tomorrow, we get a 2-minute or 2 or 3 minute warm-up in the actual 10-minute race qualifier. I think you're going to see him rise up a little bit further, as well as there's going to be other guys. So like we talked about, the 3-lap seating is nice to see, and it's going to sort guys out, but it's not going to tell the true story until these guys are on the track together at the same time. Until then, there's a little bit of guesswork, and it's kind of affecting the guys' ups and downs a little emotionally, and I think that's been a factor. But it's a good round there. David Ongaro was the tops in that seating run. He was in race 3, I believe, and had a really kind of a poor run overall, but a great 3 laps in a row, which put him at the top. I expect him to run well again, because he's going to start early, and he's going to have the heat of the day conditions like he did yesterday. So he's going to run really well. I expect Cavallari to run well. I hope Spencer Rivkin, I think he's going to run well, because he's going to be back on the track at a good time. So we'll see how things go here, shakedown. But that's kind of the first round, battling some, maybe just inconsistencies of the day and the weather, being really windy. Cold earlier, but now it's hot. Guys are complaining that it's already too hot, so that's never know what you're going to get here in Vegas. So guys are watering the track behind us, getting it ready for the first race, so we'll see everybody here at the end of the round, and we'll see how things shake down going into tomorrow, where it actually starts for good. But today is going to be a nice seeding round here late, and we'll see where these guys stack up today.